have a bunch of issues with the wall jump, so here I'm going to attempt to fix some of these issues. So the first issue that I immediately notice is when I play. If I jump on this wall and then I press the jump button while I'm wall sliding, you'll see that he maintains the wall sliding pose. So maybe if I go to this other side, oops, easier to see. See, he maintains that wall sliding pose. I think the simple solution to that is something that I missed actually, is when I press the jump button, not from the ground, but when I press jump while wall sliding is true, then while he's jumping off the wall, it is wall sliding this boolean. It should be set to false, as well as the animator boolean should be set to false as well. So I gotta put all this here. So now if I play, I'll just run over to this other side. Oops. So if I jump on the wall, and I jump away, then immediately he snaps out of the wall sliding pose, which is exactly what I need. Oops. And if I go to the other side, if you saw my last video, then you'll see that it looked kind of weird while I was bouncing between walls. It's still doing some weird stuff, but that's what I'm going to try and fix in this video. So I'm going to figure out what's causing that. So I'm going to, before I do anything else, I'm going to clean some stuff up. So right now, just say this is grounded. It's a boolean. What I'm going to do is, instead of using this as the boolean, I'm going to create a separate boolean called bool is grounded. With a lowercase I. And instead of making this a bool, I'm going to make this one a void. So therefore, this is going to be triggered in the update function. This is going to be called is grounded. So this is constantly being triggered. This is constantly being triggered. So as this raycast shoots down, if this hit distance from the player is smaller than the floor distance, which is set to 0.02, so if then is grounded equals true. Else if else is grounded equals false. And because this is an if statement, I probably have to put these in curly brackets as well. That. So now I need to grab, so I need to take this is grounded and replace it with wherever this was used. So the first place is here. So if is grounded equals true. Else if is grounded equals false. So if grounded is equal to true and the jump button is pressed, then vertical vector y is equal to jump speed. Else if vertical dot y is smaller or equal to 0, and set it to 0. If grounded is not true, if it's false, meaning if he's in the air, then I need to apply gravity, so vertical vector dot y minus equals gravity, so I'm subtracting gravity. So that's scenario 1. The other scenario is if I press jump, and his wall sliding is equal to true, then I have, okay, all that's fine. Now I have to do the same thing with the wall slide, because the wall slide I also have a bool called bool can wall slide. So instead of using that, I'm going to create another bool called can wall slide with the lowercase c. And this can wall slide is going to be, I'm going to just use a regular method, and I'm going to call it in the update. So can wall slide. So in this can wall slide, I'm going to do this also as a raycast. Because it's an if statement, I'm going to put everything in curly brackets. So the first one is if hit to dot distance is smaller than wall distance, which is 0.2, then can wall slide equals true, else can wall slide equals false. So now I need to find all the places that this was used and replace it with can wall slide, which is over here. So if wall slide, if can wall slide equals true, else if can wall else. The one issue that I have is when the player wall slides, I have a coroutine, which after the stop wall slide, coroutine I enumerator stop wall slide, after 2 seconds, it sets wall slide to false, which is sort of an unclean way of doing it, so I need to figure out how to utilize the is grounded. So that is basically when this downward raycast is smaller than, sorry, not that one. This downward raycast hit distance is smaller than the floor distance, so I gotta use something similar. But this one's not working because I think, well, the floor distance may be too small, 0.02, so I may have to create another one. So ideally, he should go out of wall slide, out of the wall slide pose as soon as he touches the ground, but it doesn't do that right now. So first, for the time being, I just want to make sure everything still works. So I'm going to He's still doing some weird stuff. Not sure why. Oops. Okay, it's working a lot better now. So what I added was in the wall slide method, I forgot to set is wall sliding is equal to false when the can wall slide is false. When can wall slide is true, then he spins around, goes into wall sliding mode, and is wall sliding true, or is wall sliding is set to true. I also got rid of this start coroutine stop wall slide, which was the 2-second delay. Instead of using that, I went up here in the can wall slide. Instead of just using hit to distance, the raycast distance is smaller or equal to wall distance, I also put and is grounded is equal to false. So if it's within a certain distance from the wall and it's not grounded, that means he can wall slide. Otherwise, if distance is greater than wall distance, or he is grounded, then can wall slide is equal to false. And these two rulings determine what happens within the wall slide. So, if I play now, first thing, if I wall slide, as soon as he hits the ground, he detects the ground, so therefore he goes into just regular mode. But if I jump, I can nicely jump back and forth. And there's no more weirdness. I can keep on going until I reach the top. And for some reason, he's still in wall sliding mode there. once more. And keep going up, 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 up. I'm not sure why it's doing that at the very end. It's probably because he detects the wall. He probably briefly detects the wall, then he shoots over. So I gotta find a way to fix that. Okay, so I figured it out. So when the jump button is pressed, but he's not wall sliding, meaning if it's just a regular jump, then I put his wall sliding set to false. Before that wasn't there. That's why when I jumped over this wall, he was still in the wall sliding pose, but now I go now. I keep going and I jump over this wall. Then he lands in just regular pose, which is good. He's not stuck in wall sliding pose. And the next thing that I want to fix for this video is whenever I'm wall sliding and then jumping, I want the camera to stay sideways. I don't want it to be like this. That way I don't go into the wall. So I want to make it so that the camera has a go-to position in relation to the character's side. So if he's wall jumping, just say on this wall, then it should be either the camera should be on this side or on this, or on this side. It shouldn't be over here. So as soon as he's wall jumping, the camera should move to either direction. The one thing that I want to try first, before I do that, is with the main camera. I'm going to try adding a sphere collider. I just want to see what that does as far as interacting with the walls. Okay, seems like it doesn't do anything. Sphere collider and a rigid body. I gotta turn off freeze rotation. Let's see what that does. Forgot about. I'm gonna click off use gravity. Okay, this is no good. I need to remove sphere collider and rigid body. Save project. Just to be on the safe side, in the is grounded method, uh, um, if the hit distance is smaller than the score distance, then I added, originally it was just is grounded is equal to true, but I set all these as well. Can control is true, so I can move the character around while it is grounded. Can wall slide is false, and is wall sliding is false. So that's just to be extra sure. It's still not perfect, but it's okay for now. So first I want to create some positions for the camera. So the first position that I'm going to do is, first I'll create an empty object called cam original position, and this is going to be, I'm just going to copy the position, and then I'm going to paste the position. So it's on the same spot as the camera. I want to create two more called cam left position. That will be parented into the camera as well, and cam right position. So just to be clear, right now the script to move the camera around with the mouse is on the parent, but these positions that I've created are to move the actual camera, not the parent. So I'll be manipulating these as he's wall jumping. So first, the left and right position, you have to be 0, 0, 0, and the Y position is going to be the same as these two, so 1.35. So I'll bring these up, 1.35, but the Z position is minus 3.9, so I'm going to take the right one and do 3.9 in the X. And for the left, I'm going to put 3.9. I'm going to do minus 3.9. So I've got the left position here, the right position here. So left, right, and the original position. So I'm going to go into the scripts, and I want to create 4 game objects. Public game object camera, public game object cam original, public game object cam left, two floats. Distance to cam left, and float distance to cam right. So these ones I'm going to set in the update. So in the update, I have distance to cam left equals vector 3 dot distance cam transform dot position. The second object is cam left transform dot position. So this one's going to be, oops, distance to cam right and cam right. So what these are is I'm constantly, because it's in the update, it's constantly going to calculate the distance between the camera and the left position and camera and the right position. So if the camera happens to be over here on just say there's like the right half of the character and the left half, it's on the right half while he's wall jumping, then the camera's gonna slide towards this position. If the camera happens to be somewhere on the left side, it's gonna be closer to this left position, so it's gonna move towards there. But when he's not wall jumping, he's just gonna go back to its original position. So that's the idea. So with those two calculated, oh, I also have to rotate these. So this one can be rotated 90 degrees to the Y, because I'm also going to grab the rotation values, and this is going to be rotated minus 90. Okay, so the wall jumping, wall sliding. If can wall slide is true, first I'll start with wall slide is false, and I'll do cam dot transform dot position equals vector 3 dot move towards cam dot transform dot position. It's going to be cam left dot cam original. Dot transform dot position. For now I've got 1000 f times time dot delta time, and I can just play around with this value as I go. Transit. Just copy and paste this. Copy, paste, cam, transform, rotation. Rotate towards wait, that's the wrong 1 second. I know what the problem is. This is supposed to be not vector 3, but quaternion. Can transform rotation, rotation, and it should be, say, 20. Yeah. So this is when he's not wall sliding. His wall sliding is false. If he is wall sliding, then I want to go to either side. So if distance to cam left is greater than distance to cam right, else if distance to cam left is smaller. Actually, this should be so distance to cam right is smaller than distance to cam left. Distance to cam left is smaller than distance to cam right. There's a small chance that the distances are equal, so I'll have to give one of them an equal sign. It could happen, it's very, very unlikely, but so in these cases, if distance to cam right is smaller or equal to cam left, then cam right is where it's going to move to. And this one's going to be cam left. So I think this should work, but I'm about to find out. It's taking a while. Okay, so choose the main character. Now I have these 4 fields, so I have to put the main camera, the original position, cam left, and cam right. So if I hit play, so just say the camera slightly to the right like this, and I think that cam left and cam right. Maybe if I push him back. I wonder if it's because they're colliding with the wall. Oh, I actually realized that maybe turn these under the main character. Try this once more. Nope, that doesn't work. This clearly isn't working, so I'm going to scrap everything that I just did. Erase all this. Compile. And I'm going to get rid of all these positions that I created, because they're not working. Okay, so I'm going to try something different. So instead of what I'm going to do is the main camera has the position and rotation of all 0. So I'm going to create, inside the character, I'm going to create an empty object. Cam left, and empty object, cam right. So before I was manipulating the camera, instead I'm going to manipulate the rotation of the camera parent, and because if this camera moves to the left, then this has to rotate this way. So let's just say I'll put it at, try 60 degrees this way. But if the camera parent rotates the other direction, rotates this way, so therefore the camera right should be minus 60. I'll try 60 degrees. Actually, maybe even more. Maybe 70. Minus 70. I just don't want it to collide with the wall, so I'll make this one, oops, 80. So this one's minus 80, and this one's 80. So back in the script, I need to create one. So I've already got the camera rig. I'll create another one called public game object. I'll just call it camera parent. Public game object cam left. Public game object cam right. And I need to create a couple floats. Cam angle left, float cam angle right. So this is the angle between this camera left and the camera parent, and the other one is the angle between the camera right and the camera parent. So in the update function, I'm going to create cam angle left is equal to, I'm not sure if this is going to work, but I'll try it, math f dot delta angle cam parent dot transform dot rotation dot y, and cam left dot transform dot rotation dot y. This is because I'm only worried about this y rotation. And I need to do the same thing for the cam right. So if this wall slide method, if cam angle left is smaller than cam angle right, else if cam angle right is smaller than cam angle left. This one I'm just going to make it smaller or equal to. And in this situation, cam parent transform dot rotation dot y equals quaternion rotate towards cam parent dot transform dot rotation dot y to cam left dot transform dot rotation dot y Actually, I don't need these y's. This will be 20f times time dot delta time. I'm going to copy and paste this. Cam angle right is smaller than cam angle left, and this one has to be cam right. Okay. So if I compile that, so in the main character, I have 3 empty fields here. So this one is not the camera, but the camera parent. And then cam left, and cam right. So if I play, it's not working. I've actually got it working now. The main reason why it wasn't working is because I was trying to manipulate the camera parent. The reason why that it doesn't work is because it has a script on it, and the script has the orbit, this orbit method. Basically, what it does is it rotates depending on how the user is using the mouse. So as the user moves the mouse around, then the camera rotates. So that completely overrides whatever it is I'm trying to do in the main character. So that's why I created another empty object, and the position rotation 0, and I parented the camera to that, and I'm manipulating the camera rotator instead. So on top of the left and the right rotations, I also created the original rotation as well as the camera rotator. So this is the thing I'm manipulating. I'm rotating this to either one of these positions, um, depending on the scenario. So again, I have these 4 game objects: rotator, left, right, original, and then I have the two floats. I kept the calculations of the angles, the 2 floats, the same, but instead of making everything happen in the wall slide method, I canceled it all out. Instead, I'm just going to do it in the update right below the 2 floats. So right here, if wall sliding is true and the camera angle of the left is smaller than the camera angle right, then the camera rotator is going to constantly rotate to the camera left. If the camera angle right is smaller than the camera left, then the camera rotator is going to rotate to the camera right. If this wall sliding is false, then the camera rotator is rotating to the camera rig. So actually I don't need this original because I'm not using it, so I can probably just delete that, as well as this here. You see, I can delete that. Yeah, so if wall sliding is false, then the camera rotator is rotating back to the camera rig rotation. So it's matching. So to start off, the camera rig is 0, 0, 0. So is the camera rotator. So wherever this goes, the camera rotator follows. Unless he's wall sliding, then this camera rotator goes to the respective left or right. But as soon as he lands, or whether he's jumping, the rotation of this snaps back to the camera parent rotation, which is the camera rig, which is something I've already added. Already here, camera rig. So if I compile that, and go play. Just say I move up to the wall, and just see I'm on this. The camera is facing this way. Then as soon as I wall jump, as you can see, it moves slightly to the left. But if I come from this angle and wall jump, then it basically goes to wherever I'm closer to. So if I go here, if I'm wall jumping, it constantly goes back. So no matter how much I move the mouse, it doesn't. It just keeps on going back to that position. So let's try over here where there's more light. So if I'm facing the wall, the camera is facing the wall, and I jump on the wall, and the camera's gonna move, which is perfect. Okay, I'm quite happy with that. I think I'm pretty happy with this wall jump. For the next video, I'm gonna move on to the next thing. I'm not sure exactly what yet. It's either gonna be a wall run or a ledge climb or something. So hopefully you enjoyed this one, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one.